Well, hey there, and welcome to yet another one of my cheesy YouTube videos. I'm in the process of building door panels for this 1981 Volkswagen Rabbit pickup truck. I took the panel off. I laid it out on the material that I was going to, the cardboard type material that I was going to make the backing out of. Traced it, cut it out. Brought the new one in here, and lo and behold, it just doesn't fit right. The old panel off the pickup truck has shrunk and is in really nasty shape. So I'm trying to get a better pattern to yet again make a new panel. So the next thing I did is I took some of this drop cloth I had laying around, and I taped a piece on here, followed with an outline marker, and it's actually sitting in my sewing room. But I went ahead and got on YouTube because I know I've seen a guy do a really good job at tracing out the door panel, and I'm glad I did because he used clear plastic. You'd be surprised how hard it was for me to find clear plastic. So let me tell everybody, if you're going to do this, Hobby Lobby has it by the yard. So you just tell them how many yards you want. It's the clear plastic that Grandma would buy to put on her couches. And then I'm going to run a piece of double-sided tape. I'll run it outside the area where the panel is supposed to go. Before I set the tape up, I'm going to take Windex and I'm going to wash everything off real good and get all the dirt and grime off so the tape sticks better. I use blue masking tape for the top, and it doesn't even want to stick to that vinyl piece. The double-sided sticks like crazy to the metal frame down below and to the plastic. The plastic actually stuck to it before I wanted it to, and it won't come off, so let me try tracing this out. I also did not take the plastic pieces for the screws for the door hardware because they don't want to pop out and I don't want to break them. So I'll trace around them. I'll trace around the door handle, trace around the window crank. I need to mark all the holes. Oh, now I got to trace around the outside edge where the door panel needs to be cut. Damn, I'm terrible at this crap. I probably should leave like an 1/8 inch off of all the edges, so when I fold the foam over or fold the vinyl and foam over, they'll be even wider. Cut it, put the holes in it, transfer it onto the cardboard or whatever it is, and then cut that out. Bring it in here, set up here, and hopefully it fits because I'm getting tired of wasting it. I'm using a punch from my gasket maker set. I'm trying to punch out where I marked the holes where these little pins go that hold it into the door frame. I'm test fitting the plastic to the door. And for the most part, it's going to line up okay. Some of my holes are a little bit off, but these plastic plugs I bought to replace the ones that were old and rotten, they fit way too easy. Gently push it in, it goes right in. So I'm counting on the holes being off a little bit to put some force on them to maybe hold it in a little better. I marked this hole. This hole wasn't originally marked. I need to get another plastic insert for the screw to go in to hold the door handle in. Everything's going to line up pretty good. Now, I traced to just above this lip right here, but if you look at the driver's side door with the panel still on it, the door actually went past the lip to right about in here. But I like it ending here at the lip. So I think I can go back to the sewing room and make my adjustments and build my door panel. Poor George. I'm George's emotional support people. All right, George. Do I need to throw your ass out the door so I can work? I'm using two different types of material. I'm using a vinyl, a tan vinyl, and this cloth that I picked up. I glued each piece of material to a 1/4 inch piece of foam that has a cloth backing to it. The cloth backing is on the outside of the finished product, and that is so that when you sew it, the threads won't rip through the foam. And I sprayed the foam and the material with contact cement, and I tried to lay the material on top of the foam. That was terrible. The material wanted to fold and touch itself, and I just, oh man, I had this nasty mess. I found it easier to lay the material out and then take your foam after it's had the glue applied, and the glue's applied to the material already. You let it sit up till it's just about not tacky anymore, and it was easier to lay the foam down onto the material. On the material, I'm using regular straight edge that's 2 inches thick, and I'm squaring it up with the bottom, and then I'm using the 2-inch mark to scribe lines all the way across it. And I'm using a pen that's made for writing on material. Supposedly the ink will come off. And when I first started sewing the pleats into it, kind of looked at it and said, is that going to be any good? I don't know. But the finished door panel I think looks pretty good. I put a black piece of welting in between. I debated on using black. Seems how there's no black anywhere in the interior. But I already had it, and I think it looks pretty good. Either that or I was going to make welting with the tan material. And I think the pleating is perfect. I may not be perfect as far as my skills, but I think the color looks really good, and I think the aggressiveness of the pleating is subdued enough to be what I wanted. As of right now, it's just glued to the back. Again, contact cement on the back, contact cement on the edge of the material, and I just bent the material over by hand once they both started to tack up. I cut out my holes, and for these round holes that I cut in, I took my punch set. So I just shoved it in there for a while to hold it in place while the glue set. And I totally understand I might have to come back through when I go to install in the car and trim some of the material off, and that's okay. I made the door cards or the back paneling out of stock I bought from an upholstery store, an automobile upholstery store. It's secured to the door with snaps kind of like this. I'm excited to get these door panels done and put in. Looking pretty good so far. I'm making a line 3/4 of an inch in. The idea is to line up my welting to that line. because welting's kind of crooked. On the panel I already did, I used my staple gun to staple the welting to the fabric and then sew it. I think on this one I'm going to try fabric tape. Fabric tape's two-sided tape. That's pretty straight. I like that. Next piece will go on just like this. Let's go ahead. I'm going to take the machine. I'm going to sew this on. And then I will, hopefully I still have a good straight edge. I believe I do. I will sew this one on like this. And then when I unfold this back, this should just be a nice pretty welt going through there. Okay, I sewed that welting onto the fabric side, and I took my vinyl piece and I used double-sided tape again, and then I laid my vinyl piece as close as I could to the edge of the welting, just worked it on down, and then I took a fabric pencil and I shoved it up in there till I could find that cord on that welting. I laid it in the groove there and I just run it down the length of the fabric. You can actually see where I jumped over it there. So now if I take and I run my stitch right on that line, hug that line all the way down, I should be good. Okay, I don't think that's too bad. Now, I got this part here that's all stitched together, and instead of trying to trim it down to as close as I can, I'm going to roll it so it's on this side. It seems to hide a lot better on the cloth side. That's what I did with the other door panel. Before going further, I need to take my left-hand door panel, which is the one I'm doing now, take it to my shop and test fit that panel, because that panel was just a mirror of the right hand, but I'm not guaranteed in my mind if that's correct or not. Let's hope it is, because I don't want to have to build another one. Okay, I checked my cardboard panel on the truck itself, and it was right. The holes are correct and everything. I scribed a white line across here at the line, at the distance that the welting should line up. I'm going to glue this bottom half first. Under the welting, the material that's sticking out the back, it's going to cause a bump. I'm going to fold that to where it is on the fabric side, not the vinyl side. So I went ahead and glued the bottom half together and then did the top the same way, making sure that my leftover from my welting is tucked to the cloth side. It sits pretty good. And then I took pieces from a hole punch set and just shoved them through the cutouts for my handles and stuff. And I folded my sides over and cut out my door handle and folded it over. So it's pretty much done. I can I'll take I got an electric staple gun or whatever you want to call it, and I'll bend these pieces of material over and staple them to keep them from showing, but it's going to be fine. I'm really happy with these door panels. I think they both turned out nice. I like them better than the original panel on the pickup truck. Thank you for watching yet another one of my cheesy YouTube videos. Please like and subscribe to my channel. And make sure you hit that like button. Somehow that's supposed to do something with this artificial intelligence crap to tell them something as far as metrics or whatever. And remember, if you love life and learning new things, go aimless.com.